Hello, hello. Welcome to this edition of the Roundtable. My name is Starlin Garnett, and today I'm hosting along with my friend and brother Alex Chuchu and
Thank you.
Jones. Alex, welcome to the platform.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here to discuss national issues.
Yes, it is a pleasure, buddy. So let's try to keep it rolling.
Okay.
Um, so today we're going to be basically discussing something that is very very important. We all know that the nation Liberia is about basically, if I'm not mistaken, nine so-called months towards the general and presidential election. The nation will be going to the poll to decide presidential candidate, representative candidate, and senatorial candidate. This election is very cardinal, is very important, and I can see the momentum building up within the different political and establishments. So basically, we're going to be sharing, and there's going to be a series for a long period of time. We're going to be basically discussing what kind of leader the nation needs at this critical junction in its political journey. Liberia is a nation of 100 plus years of existence, and it's no doubt that Liberia is one of the most underdeveloped nations in the world. Liberia has had civil conflict, we have had political unrest, we have had all kinds of economic challenges and health issues. So the question is, like we all know that everything rises and falls on leadership. Big question now is, at this junction of the country's existence, what kind of a leader we need as a nation? At least I'd like
Yeah,
you
I
to.
mean, it's a very interesting topic, Stanley. Uh, that's the $1 million question, and I think people get sentimental and emotional about it. By the end of the day, uh, a country is almost like a corporation, so to
Yeah.
speak. And a corporation depends heavily on management. Okay.
Hmm.
In fact, when America started, it was not a country, it was a corporation.
Yeah.
People who came from Europe came to America for, I think, the first 50 to 100 years. It was not a country. And they grew tobacco and they exported logs and they ran efficiently with our government. And that was because in corporations, you have no, a goal, which is profit, which is growth, which is how you can make your company or your corporation better for the employees and your
Mhm.
customers. In the case of Liberia, who are the customers? It's the Liberian people. They are the customers. The government is there to provide a service to these people. Just like you go and purchase something from a Leonine store or from you go to a restaurant. If the food is not good, do you keep going back to that restaurant with the same management, with the same?
Obviously, no.
Okay. So that's a simplified way of looking at the country. The leader is just the manager. Now, the question you ask is, what kind of manager do you need? If you're hiring a manager for, a restaurant, will you bring somebody there who don't know about food, who don't know about customer service, who don't know about technology in this era, who don't know about finance? Absolutely not. You're not dream of, thinking of doing something like that. So why should we think that anybody can be president? Anybody's supposed to be president? Most countries don't even allow anybody to be president because of they have complete strictures that limits the people who become president. And in America, they have the electoral college. That's what it was set up for. To make sure that even if the people want somebody, but that person is not qualified, the electoral college cannot vote for that person. I think you know the history of American elections and so forth. So, very good topic or series on what kind of leadership we want. And yeah, I will be here as a Liberian citizen too.
Okay.
Our voting, who would I vote for? What kind of person would I vote for?
Okay. So it's a known fact, and some of us would not want to hear this, but I think and over the years, Liberians had proven that they have not been able to select good leaders. And I stand to be corrected, but if the evidence are there within, respect to the kind of society, the kind of nation, the kind of economy Liberia has had over the years, Liberians have proven to not have the capacity to select good leaders, and that's the reason why the country is where the country is today. Most of our people, and let's just be realistic, people goes to to the ballot box. They don't vote based on any ideology. People don't vote based on policy. People basically vote on, I love this person, I love that person, he is look at the example Prince Johnson gave for the reason why he voted President Weah.
Right.
Prince Johnson is now crying foul all over the place. Now, Prince Johnson said that they voted for Senator Weah, which was a senator then, because he was the world best, he was Africa best, he was Europe best. And in that, he believed that being world best, Africa best, Europe best, he will have pulled all investments into the country. The question is, when he became world best, when he became African best, when he became European best, how many investment did he bring into the country? Do you have to be president before you actually bring investment with such connections? I don't think so. So the basis for which people elect people in our country is so flawed. And until we try to educate the people and demystify the minds of the people in respect to the kind of leaders we need as a nation, I believe the nation is not going anywhere. I believe we will still keep having the same issues and the same issues and the same issues. Like someone said, you keep doing the same thing and expecting the same result. And I also believe that we are about to make the same mistakes again.
Mm-hmm.
We are about to go to election again. If you listen to some of the analysis that people are, or some of the reasons people are going to vote for certain candidates, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Let me give you a practical example. Some of our folks will not like this. And right now, I'm playing a very neutral role, but this is it. They say, oh, we're going to vote for Ambassador Joseph, former Vice President Joseph Nyima Buaka. And he asked them, why are you voting for Ambassador Joseph Nyima Buaka? They say, oh, because he's been working in government for the past 40 years. He has governmental experience, and he will bring governmental experience to the board. Now, my question is that you and I know that this system that has produced this vice president has not served these people. Now, how can you say that the experience that somebody acquired from a system that did not or that have not benefited the people, that experience is needed to move this country forward? How is that possible? Are we critically analyzing some of the things we are saying? You say that the guy have experience. Yeah. Experience from where? From a failed system over the years. That's the only system he has working. And this system is what has produced him. Are you saying that based on what this system has produced, this person is capable of moving this country forward because he worked within this failed system? I thought we should be thinking out of the book.
Let me just come in here, Sterling. Let me just come in. What you're saying is absolutely correct. Under no condition, Ambassador Joseph Boakai has proven to be a capable leader. Forget the age. Forget the age. Even if you're 40 years old today, I don't see what in his accomplishment that somebody will look at and say, okay, the mayor was our FPRC, right? He brought changes to FPRC. Today, Liberia producing crude oil. You understand? Or they have one of the lowest price of gasoline. Or our LPNC. Or our Minister of Agriculture.
Yeah.
So I don't play the politics with just the age thing. Of course, he's too old. In some countries, you're not even eligible after 75 years old for some positions.
And yes, the irony about it, is that you have a nation that the vast demographic of the nation are young people. I mean, we have a video from Mo Ibrahim. We all celebrate Mo Ibrahim. Mo Ibrahim is this guy from Sudan who he's a telecommunication giant, and he has been consistent with this his foundation, the Mo Ibrahim Foundation, promoting good governance. And basically, what Mo Ibrahim does is that he gave $5 million to any African president who transitioned peacefully, democratically out of power. And few African presidents have transitioned peacefully, democratically out of power, and they have earned Mo Ibrahim $5 million. And he has this massive foundation across Africa promoting good governance. Now, this is what Mo Ibrahim had to say. Can you have that Mo Ibrahim video? Let's look at this Mo Ibrahim video.
Let us start by looking at the age.
Let's listen to what Mo Ibrahim
You
had to
politely
say
bought it and said,
Africa,
I like to see
a
a
nation.
critical mass. You see, I've been president for a long time. That's why you're always careful with your words. Now, this continent is continent of young people. Half of our people here are below 20 years old. Yes? Look at the average age of our presidents. Is about 63, 64 years old. We're the only continent in the world where we have presidents at 90 years old starting new terms. I mean, you guys are crazy or what? We've seen people in wheelchairs, unable to raise hands to standing for elections. This is a joke. Yes, you are right to laugh because the whole world is laughing at us.
Pause it.
I always say,
Pause it. Let's come back.
President Obasanjo.
Pause it. Alex, it's not very comical, but this is very, very, true. This is very realistic. You understanding me? This is very serious. He had on the platform right there, he had President Olusegun Obasanjo, former president of Nigeria. He had Paul Kagame and a few other panelists on the stage there. He shared with them, and you have a congregation, you have an audience of people from all over the world. And it's very funny. Listen to what he's saying. President at 90 years old, they now want a new president. We should tell the thing for the military in Zimbabwe that ousted Mugabe. Mugabe was said in power up to today, and still he died in power. Look at and Paul Biya in Cameroon. This guy does not even come to the public, and then people are saying that and you have a continent, you have young people. Let's take the Liberian case as a case scenario. The majority of the people in Liberia in voting, and the majority of the voting population are young people that are less than 30 years old. Less than 30 years old. And guess what? It's an emerging digital tribe. The average young person in Liberia is on the phone, it's on the cell phone, it's on the internet. Don't we need it? I think I heard one of the aspirants saying that he doesn't understand and WhatsApp, he doesn't do all those internet things and what have you. How can a leader craft policies for young people when he may not even be around in the next 10 to 15 years?
But forget Walker. Cummings never even had a Facebook account until I think recently last year. Okay, Facebook account. He never had a Facebook account.
Wow.
You were on a focus show before he said, "Oh yeah, they will set it up." That just tell you how far disconnected these people are. Forget Facebook, TikTok. Today is the trending social media for the world. These people don't even know what TikTok is. So if you're a president, when you want to communicate to your people, right?
Your youthful people.
How do you communicate to over 60% of your population when you don't even have the mechanism or know the form medium for which they communicate? So it's not just the age thing. At a certain generation, you get completely disconnected.
You do.
So the issue is going to come. You need young people to get involved. You need to excite the young people in Liberia, right? To want to go into technology, to want to start, doing e-commerce in Liberia, right? Like they're doing in Rwanda.
Of course.
You see Paul Kagame having all these summits. I think Paris Saint-Germain was just in what you call the place in Rwanda for exhibition match. They have the largest convention centers in Africa where people come from. So how will someone who does not speak the language, the technological language?
So Ellis, here's the thing. I mean, they will tell you that President Weah is a young person in terms of, I mean, he's more closer to the youthful population. He should have more connection. This is a guy who just left football just a few years back. He's far younger than almost all the guys. You understand me? Why is he not delivering?
Because you see, that's a stupid argument. You know why it's a stupid argument? When you say you want a young person, you don't go take the buffoon.
That's it.
The one who can better read and write.
Yeah.
Okay? And you go take it and say that he represented young people.
He doesn't.
Okay? So when you talk about young, you're talking about young, competent people who have work experience. George Weah never had a real job in his entire life. Playing football is a career, it's not a job. Okay? George Weah never had a job where he had to go to and clock in. You understand?
I got you. The corporate discipline, the rigor of but Alex, I mean, also too, football has a lot of discipline. I mean, football, you got to be disciplined to progress in football.
It is completely different.
That's a completely different arena.
Steady. That's a crazy
arena.
argument to consider an athlete. All right? As a league. There's a big difference. Show me the football player in the world, okay, that people will elect for any kind of leadership position. Even in America here, okay? In Brazil,
we do have athletes that are I mean,
the only reason why an athlete would even become mayor in this country would means that person left their job as an athlete.
Yeah.
They either started a business, they were very successful. So they're not an athlete, they're not running as an athlete anymore. George Weah.
And the thing about athletes, you gotta be university and you gotta go
to school. So let's look at somebody like Magic Johnson right now, right? Let's look at Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson left the NBA several years ago, right? He became an investor. He owns one of the largest amount of Starbucks. He owns hotels.
Yeah.
If Magic Johnson ran for office today in America, you can't compare him with LeBron James.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean? Still playing. You can't. LeBron James has not started running anything successfully yet.
Right.
Michael Jordan is running the multi-billion-dollar. I mean, conglomerate around here.
So George don't fit that category.
Managing stuff.
Right. So George don't fit that category as a competent person. He's only an athlete. And because Liberian people, they're so silly sometimes, right? That's the reason why we have George Weah is not qualified to be city mayor of Clariton.
But Alex, let's take it to this, because this is my analogy, and this is what I've always thought. If you have because you see, our leaders reflect who we are on the larger scale. You know, there is this statement that Charles Taylor used to say. I mean, Charles Taylor was not the one I used to say, but during the Charles Taylor era, there was this popular statement: there are more good people in Liberia than there are bad people. It's time for the good people to win. This is the ironic about democracy. Democracy is that those who are in the majority will obviously win. And like we'll always select, I'll give you an example. If you have 10 criminals, hardcore criminals, and you ask the 10 criminals to select a leader among them, they are not going to select the police officer.
Exactly.
They are not going to select anybody out of their pool.
So to negate that problem, right? And we don't understand democracy. We think democracy is just voting. Most countries, the people do not vote for the leaders. Or in Europe, there's not the people that will vote for the prime minister of Great Britain. And I just gave you the example in America. It's the electoral college that vote. They can concur with the people.
Yeah, but you know, the electoral college is a representation of the population of a particular place.
Yeah, but to become part of the electoral college, you got to have a certain degree of knowledge, experience before you can represent your state at the electoral college. That's not anybody.
I mean, Alex, the truth of the matter is that these guys here are very, very advanced. They are very educated. These people have gone to school.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? Education, and and this is what I always tell people. Democracy is you are not going to benefit the proceeds from democracy as a nation if your people are not educated.
But Liberia has enough educated people.
Not as compared to those who are not, in respect to the voting population.
All right, but that's not the problem.
So then what is the problem?
Okay. You can have, there are countries in Africa that have less educated people with less exposure that have a better system. Togo, okay, Benin, Mali.
Togo and Benin are not better, Brody. Let's take it from there. Togo and Benin. Those places, Mali is a dust. They are not doing better. You understand me? The French help those places a lot.
Yeah, but that's an arrangement. That's an arrangement. That's because of the leadership. You can't say somebody not doing better, but the person is larger than you economically. The person does not have the social problems that you have in your country.
They do have a social problem. Togo and Benin have a social problem.
Let's go step by step with Togo and Benin, right? So Liberia GDP is 4 billion, right? Togo is 8. Togo is growing at 5.8%. Okay, Liberia is growing 4%. Okay, every category of economic development, Togo is 2 to 3 times better than Liberia.
So let's bring the analysis back to something, and then we'll go straight to our topic.
Okay.
And India has a bigger GDP than South Korea, but the standard of living in South Korea is far better than that of India. So let's look at the quality of living. But let us not digress. Let's stay focused. Let us not digress.
No, good.
Basically, we're talking about the kind of leader,
correct,
we should be looking for in Liberia. And then we're going to come to how can we source or how can we get such a leader. But let's look at some of the qualities of the kind of leader that we should be looking for in Liberia. And then we started off with the fact that Liberia is a nation of more than 65+% of the population are young people less than 30 years old, which is a big thing. It's a big thing. Now, a nation with such huge demographic of young people, what kind of a leader should such a nation be selecting? Should we be selecting somebody who in the next 10 to 15 years is no longer going to be around, and they are going to be determining the future of these people? Imagine you are 25 years old, and you have somebody who will be around for like maybe life expectancy. Let's say will be around for like the next 20 years. At 25 years, so when you are 20 years to your age, at 25 years to 45 years, so somebody is going to be determining your future at that time, who is not going to be around, who's been making decisions for you. Shouldn't that wake up to no. We got to be a little bit analytical. We got to be a little bit strategic. We got to remove sentiments and feelings from our choice and say, you know, I may not like this person, but this person can deliver. You know, like you started out by saying, Ellis, nations are now run like Fortune 500 companies, where the citizens are the shareholders, and the presidents and leaders are the CEOs. If those CEOs don't perform, don't bring returns to the shareholder get them off. And the primary objective of the CEOs and managers is to make sure that the shareholders have returns on investments.
Correct. So let's use that analogy.
Yeah.
We use that analogy. Their age, whatever age is, shouldn't really matter in that instance.
Okay.
And that's why I go back and say, even a 40-year-old Joe Boyka,
yeah,
is incompetent to be president of Liberia. Joe Boyka did not become Minister of Agriculture because he wrote this fascinating paper about this idea. We know how people were selected in governments because of tribal reason. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Joe Boyka never worked anywhere where people can say, okay, this man is meritocracy, and he came and he delivered, and there were other people. Joe Boyka is not a head of the Unity Party today because there was a primary where the Unity Party selected other candidates, and they all went and had a debate, and he came out as the one with the best vision for the country. Every position Joe Boyka had gotten is not, none is all a merit. They all selection based on some kind of either tribal reason or tribe reason. So forget the age, because you can have an older CEO that is capable. You can have an older CEO that understands technology, that understands, the reality, that's connected with the population. But that's not Joe Boyka. That's the problem.
And let me not cut you up, but let me just say this. And this is, I have no personal issues against Ambassador Boyka or any one of the guys, but we're just critically analyzing these people. Do you know right now who is the most famous farmer in the country? Is this young guy? What's his name? Ashkon Jabba.
Correct.
That's the guy who is posting farms and other stuff. I learned of recent the president even gave him a contract to produce some rice for the president and stuff like that. And he's a guy on Facebook who is having rice farm this place. He's so enthusiastic about agriculture, and he has this big vision about agriculture. Then my point is, the person who you people say that, oh, he was an agriculture minister, he did this. Where is his farm?
Where's his farm?
That's my question. Where is his farm? Why can't we ask these questions?
And the thing about it is the excuse they will make, the country not doing well, the government has you. So if Ashwa can go in the same country and produce food, right? To the extent where all Liberians see why Joe Boyka can do the same thing.
And this is a guy who comes from an agricultural dominant county.
Correct.
Local County is known to be the food basket of the nation.
Correct.
He should have one of the biggest farms in Lofa County.
That producing food for Liberia.
Producing food. And his engagement and involvement in the agricultural sector in Lofa County should be evident.
Exactly.
It should be evident.
Yes,
so
that
the question is, why are we not asking these questions? How can you say that the person must be a president before he can change the agricultural sector? Correct.
And again, like I said, so I'm not going to play the age with Joseph Boyka, okay? Because, like I said, there are plenty of things. The age thing, that's for Liberian people. They want, somebody in diapers to be the president, that they can do that one. All I'm saying, all right, that Joe Boyka has not displayed any competency in any position he's held. He was vice president of Liberia, right? He was head of the group of 77. He go to the budget every year, at least $1.8 million. In some cases, $2.3 million every year for 12 years. Okay? What can you show the Liberian group of the disabled people in Liberia have? Do they have computer schools? Do they have laws that give them, the disabled people, access into public building? Is there a bill in Liberia that says that every company in Liberia have to hire a disabled person that's qualified? No. That was the vice president job for 12 years. So the man is incompetent. Joe Boyka can't sit down on this platform, any platform, with anybody who's sound, young or old, and have an intellectual conversation on any subject in Liberia. He's never done it. Okay? This man, like I said, you have all these streams going on. You have all these roundtables. You have all these discussions. Let Joe Boyka go to the University of Liberia. Let a young student in agriculture be able to have a conversation. You see leaders around the country here. They can
And
have.
Alex, here is one thing that I keep
So,
asking, and I keep asking this question. You know, when someone ascends to the presidency or the vice presidency, and after they're done, normally they will be speaking at this round table. They'll be speaking at this university. They'll be invited to this.
or they go get a
business
job. They go get a job.
or they go and get a job or something else. Since the vice president left as vice president, what
What has he done?
I have not heard the vice president speaking at no major university gathering anywhere in the world or at no business
But
session.
who will invite Joe Burger to go? Who people
Sharing
doing
contemporary ideas in terms of governance and what have you. I have not seen that. I mean, I see the
People do not invite somebody who has nothing to say. Joe Burger does not have, and this is not about like a politics. Like I said, this show is about leadership, right?
Yeah.
The leadership. Joe Burger has. I listened to Joe Burger. I listened to all his interview, even when he was vice president. He has nothing constructive on any solution in Liberia.
So Alex, now let's get back to the topic. Let's get back. I mean,
And I challenge anybody to tell me where Joe Burger has displayed that shows any kind of leadership.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, we will discuss the guys individually.
And then we can go to other people because it's not just Joe Burger.
We talk a little bit about President let's President.
Yeah, no, go to everybody because I don't want to be biased. You can even discuss me.
And Alexander Cummings. I mean, you want to be president as well.
You can discuss everybody.
Alexander Cummings and President. But for today we will dive around. Yeah. And then we'll be a little bit more specific in subsequent presentation.
Correct.
But then the question comes back again. What kind of a leader does Liberia need?
And I would tell you, number one, you need someone who understands technology.
Very important. If
the leader of Liberia does not understand technology, Liberia is doomed. You cannot do anything without understanding, having a good comprehension of tech. The reason why you and I can be in two different states and thousands of people, millions of people around the world can watch us is because of the power of technology. It's your friend. If you do not understand technology, mobile money, how fiber optics, understand little bit of programming, so that you can put systems into place to cut down the expense. The time if you go try to open a business in Liberia, it takes you about 3 months, even if you have the money. When I think should take you the same day. Same day you should be able to go. See what's country, even in Africa, you go to Rwanda, you go Ghana, you go to other places, you're a citizen, things are your passport. You should be able to get that thing in less than a week's time, less than days. Because you have technology. Those are not those softwares and this breakthrough been around for a long time. So if you're a person in Liberia, what you need is somebody now who can bring us into the 21st century using technology.
And let me concur with you. I have a background in technology, and I can tell you for a fact, the easiest way to leapfrog the nation right now is to leverage technology.
Absolutely.
If we cannot leverage technology, the nation will not go anywhere.
Even you talk about agriculture. Everything is technology.
Right now, we got to leverage technology.
You can't go do farm with cutlasses and hoes and so anymore. People are using satellite imaging, all right, to test soil and irrigation, all right, to depict, to be able to understand how you can have different yields in different parts of the country. It's all software driven.
And this is what Jack Ma, the guy who owned Alibaba, said. Jack Ma said the oil mine of the future, the next oil is data, is technology. Data is what is driving enterprise. Data is what is driving economy and commerce and business around the world. So we must have a leader who appreciates technology, who will be able to make sure, because here's the thing, anybody who don't appreciate technology, who don't see the need for technology, who is not strong to make sure that no, because people want to go back to the analog. Sometimes people want to stay with what is comfortable with them because they want the old system to continue, because the old system they can steal and what have you. You see, even a thing about tax collection,
Right, everything.
we cannot have an effective tax collection system in Liberia if technology is not employed.
It's not employed.
It must be employed. Look at it. Look at the port, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the
Everything
port,
virtual.
for example.
Mhm.
The
Records.
you cannot reform the port without technology. You need,
Look at
you
it.
the leader have to put your foot down. You said, "No, what? We are going to employ technology in every sector. We are
But
going to make sure that we stick with it. People will not be comfortable with it, but after a while, they will get used to it, and they will know that this is the new normal."
Forget about just, look at even the court system, the records.
Records.
Today you can even be online. Lawyers are online doing hearings.
I mean, I registered a company in the States here without seeing a lawyer.
But I tell you, my whole life is technology.
I have not. I didn't see the lawyer. Transaction went through everything. The company is registered. Every documentation went through without seeing a physical lawyer, just on my computer.
Say, the technology is so advanced now. People can commit people can perform surgery. The doctor is in another state.
Yeah.
And they can, so all that in healthcare. You can have doctors in America. You can employ the technology in Liberia, and they can perform the surgery from here using technology.
And
No, hold on, this is very important. They will operate on the person in Liberia from right here. So they were saying, if you talk about healthcare, you need technology.
Yeah.
You want to talk about agriculture, you need technology. You want to talk about good governance, you need technology.
And you know, Alex, this is it.
And let me put it this way: I'm a data analyst.
Yeah.
Okay, and a consultant, IT consultant.
Yeah.
I actually, because people say, "Oh, Cummins work at Coca." Look, I consult CFOs and CEOs and projects for major Fortune 500 company. Okay.
Yeah.
Recent company that I was consulting, right? A maritime corporation. The annual budget is $2 billion. Okay, I was brought in to help them streamline using technology system, Power BI, to be able to get all the reportings from all the data, the ships from all around the world with a different thing. Okay, you can go and check my reference. You can go and talk to my managing director. I report on. I was brought in to consult them. So I'm just saying, it's not working in a corporation that matters. You can be in a corporation as an administrator like Cummins. You don't know anything about technology.
Yeah, but you must appreciate the guy that he was at least in a corporation. And mind you, I follow the CV.
Yeah, but you're talking here.
He was responsible for the theme. I mean, he was responsible for the technology of the company. He was not
you're not responsible.
He was not a practitioner.
No.
His department had a technology department that was
rolling. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that the chief.
I agree you, because here's the thing, and it's not a cut you short. There's the thing. You don't need. You may not get a president who is a data analyst. My point is that you must get a president who appreciates technology and is ready to employ technology to governance.
If you have two people you want to employ, okay. Yeah. If Liberia needs technology, it needs everything to get it from the analog into technology. Yeah. And you got two people who come in for the job. Okay. One of them has some supervision, but doesn't really understand the technology. Okay. Yeah. And the other one work as a technologist.
Yeah.
As a consultant, who is more qualified to perform that job?
There are ramifications we got to consider, Alex. We got to consider ramifications.
Ramification you consider.
We got to consider leadership.
All things equal. Nobody will hire somebody to be an IT director or IT manager. The president is the chief information officer.
Yeah, but Alex, here's the thing. That is one aspect of the presidency. My point is this: you cannot have everything in one basket. My point is this: that you need somebody who will appreciate the fact that we need
Say,
technology.
Josh, where I appreciate technology.
Huh?
You can say, Josh, where I appreciate technology. You can say, Gongolo appreciate technology.
Wow.
Because, hold on,
Josh has not proven to appreciate technology. Josh, the president. Sorry
what
to say,
I'm trying
the
to say,
president.
hang on here.
Mr. President website is not even updated.
No, hold on now.
The e-mansion website is not updated.
Okay, I agree. No, that's what I'm saying.
But Ellen was not a technologist, but the website was updated regularly.
You're talking more complex things. You want to do if you're talking about database, you're talking about using SQL to update those things. You're talking about systems, you integrating systems. That's not something where, and that's why Ellen failed miserably, because Ellen did not utilize technology. That's what
I must agree with you. She did not utilize technology to the fullest. She did not utilize technology to the fullest. But what I'm saying, just at the basis, you understand me? She have a couple of guys who were around, who understood and who appreciated technology.
So you brought these were inexperienced people. Hold on. You brought people who were very inexperienced, just came from school, and you made them minister and you put them in position that had no experience. And you and I know, and Dr. Marston joining us. You and I
welcome to the show, doctor.
Thank you.
You and I know that even if somebody has a PhD, if they don't have experience, they have nothing.
Yeah, Alex, I want you to take a position. Alex, I don't want you to take a position as a contestant. I want you to take a position as a voter.
Let me make this point. Let me make this point.
Yeah.
No educated person would tell me, even a doctor, you can go to the best school, John Hopkins, wherever. You will have to go as an intern. You will have to go and practice for many years to become proficient before they can make you or a doctor, or before they give you that responsibility. So when you talk about Ellie had people who understood technology, that's not true.
But no, Alex, I don't want to speak for Ellen, because I know the SSS that was in his government. And I can say for the fact that she did not utilize technology, because if she did, we would have been a little bit farther.
Correct.
Because let's look at education in Liberia. I mean, doctor, we're going to bring you in short. Let me just make this last point. Do you know that we can have teachers that don't need to come to Liberia, like can just stay right in America and teach students in Liberia? I do a lot of courses here that I've not even seen teachers. It's self-taught, online certification, and you can go and get a job with it.
I've done courses, and all of us have. I've done courses at Switzerland University, Norway University, Singapore University. I mean, these are high-level courses.
Okay. Let me welcome Doctor. Doctor, you are Dr. Vabala. You are welcome to the platform this evening. We basically, I'm sharing on what kind of leader does Liberia need. The nation is about to go to the pool in less than 10 months' time. The nation is at a very critical junction in its political sojourn. Who we select determines if the nation will progress, regress, or stagnate. And the nation, we know from major economic indicators and all the different indicators, is in a downward spiral. Sir, at this junction, what kind of leader does Liberia need? You're welcome to the platform, sir.
Thank you, sir. The leader our country needs is just simple. The one who loves and understands the country we were born in. If you love the country, and if you understand the situation that is there now, and willing to bring some changes that will develop further our future, not degrade our future, then you will be the best leader. And that's why, as aspiring, I have in my definition of change as coming home, allowing next generation to exist. Because this generation that we are facing now, this Liberia that we are facing now, have failed the citizens of the country.
Sir, since you are an aspiring and we are panelists here, can we now redirect some of the questions to you? Now, because you are saying that you prefer a better solution for the country. So we're going to ask you most of the questions. We're going to ask you some questions. We're going to drill you a little bit. Permit us to do so. Now, you say that we need somebody who loves the country. Such a statement, I believe, is very, very broad, is very, very blank. And that's what everybody says about President George Weah, that he loves the country, he has a country at heart. Everybody says the same thing about everybody. Everybody who has come up to want to be president says they love the country, they have the country at heart. But does loving the country and having the country at heart, does it equate to competency in leadership that will ultimately result in deliverables?
Well, competency is a different matter. Do not influence it with loving the country. Talk about competency.
So shouldn't you rephrase your statement in terms of what kind of a leader Liberia needs should be? It shouldn't be more than just loving the country?
No. Number one, before you even ask for competency, that person must love the country. We have had leaders who have proclaimed that they love the country and they do not. They are only in the interest of their pocket.
So how do you determine because before a person becomes a leader, they are first normally the citizens and they grow to the rank. Means that they must have loved the country all along. Do they love the country when they became a leader, or they have loved the country all along? What determines that a person loves the country?
Let me be very honest to you. The political drama that have played in Liberia have not been in the interest of the country. First, let's go to the history. Republic of Liberia. When you have something off, that word off, you are coming to live on a benefit. It should have been Liberian Republic or Republic for Liberia, so it can benefit masses of the people. That is missing in the puzzle. This is where we all, as Liberians, did not know until I got here. I began to study the English language in detail during my study to understand some of these things. And now look at love. Your definition of love may be different from mine.
So what is your definition of love in respect to leadership in Liberia?
Coming home, allowing the next generation to exist.
The next generation will already exist whether you come home or not.
Listen carefully. We have a lost generation. Right now, Liberia have declined from the stage it was in the early 60s or 70s to the lowest. And in any way, if you go online on anything, you put anything on Liberia, you will realize that everything that will come on Liberia will be in the venture or the vanguard of criminality. When you talk about producing food for ourselves, we are incapacitated.
Was there any time? Was there any time? Anyway, let me just give Alex a chance to just chime in. Alex, let me just say this last thing before Alex comes in. Was there any time Liberia produced enough food that they did not need to import any food from anywhere, most especially rice, their staple food? Have there been any time in the history of Liberia that Liberia was self-sufficient in food production to the extent that we're exporting food out of Liberia? Have there been any time?
Yeah, I think, okay, so I'm not a historian, so I don't want to profess to know, but if you check the Liberian historian, there were times, I believe, in the early formation of Liberia where they used to even make things in Liberia. We know that some part of the late 60s, and Dr. Max can attest today, when we had the most radical group of companies, they used to export shrimp out of Liberia. Now, as far as if we were completely food sufficient, I don't know. So let's bring on somebody with a historical background, to tell us. But let me make this last point. A country does not have to be full self-sufficient to be successful. You see Thailand, you see Switzerland, they don't produce a lot of food, but they are the richest countries in the world. So again, it comes to the point where what are we focusing on? If you're going to grow food in Liberia, so I think people again take it too far. If you're going to produce food in Liberia, And the cost of producing our food, right, costs, let's say, $20 million every year. But you produce the food. When you can go to India and bring the same food, all right, at $10 million and save $10 million that you can put into healthcare, education, manufacturing, what will you do as a leader?
Opportunity cost.
Exactly. So, when people be talking like brand politics, oh, with growth footing, you haven't done any studies, you haven't done any major comparative comparative analysis. Actually, there's a book that's written by this professor called The Comparative Advantage of Nations. So you see, all nations, you have certain things that you have strength, and you have certain things that you have weakness. Agriculture per se, and don't quote me, per se, may not be Liberia's strength. First of all, most Liberians don't like to farm. Look at the Moscow. You got almost 2 million people in Maria. How many of them won't really go to the interior? Because nothing is stopping any Liberian right now from going to the county, starting your farm, growing your organic food, feeding yourself, and even exporting some of that organic food outside the country. Most Liberians. So you have to find what is our comparative advantage. Some countries like Bahamas, Bermuda, for instance.
Okay, Ellis, I don't want us to digress. Let's. I just brought that point up because Dr. Vabla was.
I don't know the exact. I don't know the answer at any point in Liberia.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back. You heard him. He said couple of things that law for country and what have you. So that's what we want to focus our attention on a little bit right now. What kind of leader does Liberia need? Yeah, if you have some questions for him, he's ready to push up. Let's.
But let me go into that agriculture history. I'm not going too back in the 60s. I was born in the beautiful village of Mowi. My father was a farmer, and he took
Mowi. You say in Riverside? Is that Riverside?
In the beautiful village of Mowi, southeast of Namambon County.
Oh, Namambon County. Got it.
Okay. And he took us to the farm. At that time, those who wanted to buy parboiled rice that were called pusawa can buy it in Monrovia. But we who lived in the interior of the country, our parents were able to produce rice that will feed us. They sell on that rice, they bought all Christmas clothes and were comfortable. Then came in President William R. Turnbull, who brought Agrimingo, LPMC, and all kind of company that will help us to produce rice on the masses. We had enough rice. The choice was Liberian people are being always arrogant. They said that the parboiled rice were better than the rice that were locally produced on the ground. It was a matter of choice. This is all we're talking about. We have the land, we have the means. There is no use of using $40 million to import rice from Thailand, Vienna, and other places in our country when we can produce the same crop with the same atmospheric condition in our country. West Africa being so fertile, we don't have to only produce rice. We have a lot of other crops that, like you said, organic crop we can produce, like potato, arrow, which you call bujulu when it comes from the other side of the world. We can produce oranges. We can produce pineapple. These are all commercial crops that can help our country. And the basic need behind that is this. We will be able to educate our people to work hard to earn their living. I am not in this politics to give a welfare check to anyone. We have to provide jobs for them, and the early source of job is to open an agriculture industry. Our tourism need to be exploited so we can fix our beaches and other things, so other country members can come there and spend money that will be in the interest of our nation, etc.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
because
sir.
on this platform, I think I'm the only person who who now presidential aspirant.
you
But both of you
are on your
are
platform.
presidential aspirant. So, what has been your involvement, engagement in the Liberian society prior to you wanting to be president?
2013, I was on the ground campaigning in Nama and Panta district to test my political maneuverability.
So my question,
Listen carefully.
okay.
Ask me a sensible question. I'm laying the foundation. Look, no press will throw me over just because they want to orchestrate their story the way they want. You ask me a question, let me give you an answer.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Okay?
Go ahead.
I was able to produce books, over $50 million worth of books to the Ministry of Education. A container is still sitting at the port. They want me to pay $30,000 for. And I refuse to pay that after I've taken the container from here and transport it during the Early Johnson administration. During Charles Taylor administration, I was able to give medical equipment in collaboration with Dr. Gova Bear, Dr. Zumo, all our Liberian doctor over $1 million. That equipment was sold to the Republic of Guinea. When they turned it on, we were able to identify that that equipment went to Guinea. I have been involved in the process of developing our country on the ground without taking credit. I have a warehouse of $15 million worth of books that were destined for the Republic of Liberia. I have senators, representatives come, I take them to my warehouse and say, let's transport their books so we can create the education department to support the government school so they can be as good as the private school. So if you ask me what have I done,
Is that a plan? Is that a plan, or just it's just another throwing welfare at the people and just gathering stuff and throwing at the people?
well,
And
yeah,
when I'm asking you about your engagement, because there's the same thing we talk about with point we're making about the former vice president. Former vice president has been agriculture minister. He comes from the county that is the breadbasket of the country. When you talk about agriculture in Liberia, you talk about Lofa County, you talk about Nima County, you talk about Bone County. My question is that my point was that what is the former vice president farm in Lofa County? How have he been engaged, involved in the agriculture sector in his place? Because if that is where he comes from, how come is a young man Armstrong Java who is the most popular farmer in the country, and not the former vice president who was once an agricultural minister who comes from an agricultural rich county? When I ask your engagement, it's like you stay in the United States, you go down, and anybody can do that. I mean, anybody could get a container and send goods down.
you
Like
haven't done it. You
I'm talking
haven't
about.
done it. You are a Liberian.
Uh-huh.
So don't discredit that.
No. I'm not discrediting that, but
And
I'm
we
saying that
all have
what I
different
want to hear
and
is
we
that.
all have different aspects of bringing our gift that we have given, God has given us to our people. Uh, Look, there is no constitutional requirement. If you read any portion of the constitution that say I must even build a house before I become president in Liberia, then quote it to me that I don't know. Tell me
No,
the
there is
constitution and the
absolutely
article.
no constitutional requirement that says that.
Exactly.
My point is that my point is that we must look at our people past performance to determine their future.
That's why you see it's not a requirement.
It's not a requirement, but it's a subtle requirement. That's what we want to push to the mind of the people, because we want our people to be more logical.
Listen to me. I just told you I'm not in the presidential election to promote welfare system. If that's why you're trying to promote, I'm on different side of the arena with you.
But that's not what I'm
It is
saying. You are
time
the
for
one
the
that's saying that
citizens
that
of
you ship it.
Liberia to get up and learn to go to work and earn their living.
But
And
you
to
are the one who is
provide
shipping
job for
free
them.
books and free stuff to the country. I'm not talking about that. You ship a container of free stuff to the country. That is welfare. I thought we should be treated to be
No,
able
it's
to.
not. It is an educational process that I'm trying to promote.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you further. Now
And the medical need that I try to promote. Let me give you a little bit of detail where you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I was elected to go to JFK on a joy where as a somebody who actually was supposed to be operation manager. When they first contacted me, they told me they wanted to make me administrator of JFK. I said, okay, that's great. When I got on the ground, they diluted that. They said because they have a physician there as the head, they cannot put me as the head. So I have to go be operation manager. I said, look, based on the flow, for the full flow, when we assess it, I gave them $1.8 million investment. I turned to go for them to make the budget and send to me. Guess what happened? The 6 or 7 people from that group asked me to give them 10% of that money. I told them, let me tell you people something. You people are not ready for me, and I'm out of here. I am not in it for me. I'm in it to establish something that can benefit masses of the people. And you tell me how well I was involved in the government. That's how deep I am in the government. When I
No, no,
want,
no. I
but
didn't
I'm
ask
not
you
going
how
to
well
take
you are involved in
corruption
the government.
as
I'm
the
talking about
answer.
involved within the lives of the people. When did you go to the Bone County and
Just
establish a facility?
if I can just come in,
Okay, yeah, let's go
are
ahead.
the same wrong questions we are asking. Because what you're saying is
Mhm.
somebody should go every year, provide welfare, things that the government should be doing in terms of not welfare, but the services that the government should be providing. Building schools, building hospitals for the people, creating jobs. The government didn't do it. The government that elected, they didn't do it.
Mhm.
You want a Liberian person to go to Liberia and do those things in order for them to be looked at as a good leader. That is a wrong mentality.
I agree with you.
And that's the beginning of corruption either. That's
Which
the initial stage of the corruption that is killing
that's
our
what
country.
it starts from. The question that anybody like we say here, what is the criteria for someone to become president of Liberia? It shouldn't be how many capable, how many hospitals you built on your own, how many community projects you did.
But
No,
I did not. Dr. Vabla was the one who said he exported continuous back for to Liberia.
he clarified why he was doing that.
Mhm.
It could be his business, it could be his program, it could be his
No,
tax.
it was about campaign.
It's based on my love for Liberia. In fact, at that time, I have not declared my intention.
So he wanted to give charity. And anybody should give charity. And that's why when people ask me, what have I done for people or things in Liberia, I don't disclose it. If I send somebody, if I help a brother in Liberia and send you to school, because I'm running for president now, I can't and say, oh, I educated it, man, I get it, man, Christmas, I get it, other man. I'm never going to discuss that.
But Alex, let me clarify that.
Mhm.
Here is the thing. When I started doing this thing, remember education. It is not a gift I'm giving to you. You have to go to school before you benefit from it. When I sell medical equipment, people are dying in Liberia on a daily basis.
Right.
I was putting the strength I have in so we can alleviate some of the death.
Dr.
That has
let me
nothing
ask
to
you a
do with
question.
welfare.
Let me ask you a question. Why can't you continue doing what you keep doing? Why do you have to be the president of the nation?
Because the system that is in Liberia has failed the Liberian people. That is why I'm coming in, because of my idea and what I want to do to lift the Liberian population
Why
up.
can't you lend your ideas to the leadership?
I'm willing to lend my idea to the leadership, provided if they will follow it and carry it on or have me in to implement what I want to implement.
let me ask you a question. One of the things that we discussed this evening, with Chushu, we talk about technology and a leader who appreciates technology as one of those cathedral that we should be looking at for somebody who wants to be the leader of the nation. What is your stand on technology, and why do you think technology
Look,
is something that we
my
should?
my son, when I was doing technology, you were not around. I always tell people I don't know much about that. I started with Lotto 123. That time he did not know computer. Lotto 123. I can do literally everything that I want to do on the computer. But usually when I face Liberian people, I say I have no idea of computer. When you tell them that they want to take advantage of you, then they come back to know. And the profession I'm in and managing 60,000 people in America, there is no way if you have sense, they tell you I don't know computer, you will say no, that's not true. That's their common sense.
Did you really answer my question?
I did.
Alex, did you really answer my question?
No,
I don't think you really answered my question.
Well, you asking the question, you're not even listening to the logic of the question. So I answer you in the proverbs for you to figure out for yourself.
No, but I'm not the only person who is on the show. The people who are
but if
listening
you
want
answer
to
the
also
question,
understand the question.
the man says answer your question. So why you turn it on to me? You see, they almost said that. They almost going to say all against each other here.
Look,
Yeah, I'm not going. I know better. I'm not going around.
exactly.
So,
Look, then young folks, you ask very technical question. But you want the answer to be only in your favor before you understand. So your test is if you are managing 60,000 Americans, you are manager of a hospital. Can you believe that you don't know anything about technology?
may have a little bit of
Look, let me
knowledge
tell
about.
you something.
Yes, sir.
Every program in the technology is open to study.
Sure.
If you learn technology from the past, like I told you, Lotto 123, we have come from there to so many to Microsoft and whatever, and we all continue to learn. I advise you to open your mind to continue to learn. That's the easier way to live today in this universe we are living.
Okay, we are an hour and close to 30 minutes. We have basically a few more minutes to wrap up the edition of the show for today. And remember, we sharing what kind of leader does Liberia need? We know
Okay,
that Liberia is
let me
about to
answer
go.
that question for you. We dance around it.
Mhm.
We have an alliance that coming up. I want you to listen.
Another alliance.
Yes, not another.
Oh,
The
okay,
People's Alliance of for Liberia.
okay,
The People Alliance for Liberia. I want to start selling that now. This
okay.
alliance is going to want to be the one to liberate our country. I'm member
Everybody
of
says the
it.
same thing.
Alex is member of it. Joseph Bani is member of it. And
Joseph Bani, MPP Joseph Bani.
yes, and we are all willing to welcome other people to join us.
No. Hold on. You breaking news. Are
This
you saying MPP Senator Joe Bani is a member of the People Alliance of Nigeria, the
Joseph.
Secretary General or the Chairman of MPP?
No. TP.
Oh,
P.
There's another political party leader, TPP. The name is
because
Joseph.
Joseph Bani.
Yes.
Oh, I got you. Oh, no, not Joseph Bani, but James Bani. James Bani is a guy for MPP. Yeah,
Okay.
James Bani is a guy for
We're
MPP.
talking Joseph Bani.
Yeah, you
Right.
said Joseph Bani.
Right.
Oh, okay.
See,
So those are political parties that are in the US that are going back to the country.
there's no political party in the U.S.
Yeah, where you get it. Liberian political party cannot sit
Political
down.
aspirants that are based in the US.
No.
Liberian political party cannot sit down in the U.S. and hope to gain ground. I'm member
I'm
of
just leaving you
Liberia
guys.
United for Change movement. I'm not a political party.
So you said you are going to answer the question. You have not answered the question yet. And this is a question that cannot be answered in one show. This is a question that has to be revolving. What
So,
kind of leader?
tomorrow we'll come back, or wherever tomorrow
What's
we'll come back. So Dr. Bass can answer you because you didn't get a chance to answer the question.
Exactly.
Okay, so we are probably like I'm okay. We just take like 3 minutes and then conclude.
Right.
I will give each one of you guys few minutes to conclude, and then we can move forward. In your conclusion, you can speak to the issue. What kind of leader does Liberia needs? We'll start with Dr. Fabla.
Vagwili.
Oh, Vagwili. Dr. Max O. Vagwili. Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. I know how to pronounce native names.
That means you cannot twist it around or bend it.
Oh, that's the meaning of the name?
Yes.
You cannot twist it around. You cannot bend it.
You cannot bend it.
It's just straight.
So that's the kind of person I
Meaning
am.
it cannot adapt
And
to
that's
change.
why you
It's
and
just
I
straight.
are having conflict in this interview. But it's a good conflict.
You see, now what liars
You cannot change my deliberation. You may try, but you will not change it.
So my question is, how adaptable are you to the emerging political trend and demographic of the society of Liberia when you are straight and you cannot change, you cannot bend, and what have you? Because you must be flexible, you must be adaptable, you must have some compromises, because you are going to be leading a youthful population. In your closing, you
That's exactly our original mistake that we have made from 1847 to 2023. Unless we begin to tell people the truth, our country will never be successful. Let me give you a current example. Joseph Boakai has fallen sick. He cannot even reveal to the Liberian people that he is sick, the condition he in, but he hope that we support him when he comes from the hospital. That is deceitful. You cannot continue to lie to the citizen. In this country, the United States, where you and myself sitting, if any representative sitting here gets sick, the hospital to go to is listed. And the doctor report, first early report will be mentioned into their report. And the final report before they leave the hospital will also be mentioned. Why is Joseph Boakai continue to lie to our people about his sickness? We know he's sick. And publishing pictures that he have taken 3 or 4 years to say he's okay. Why?
Is that closing?
Yes, sir.
And you're hearing from a what you call neurologist. This man is a doctor, medical doctor, a neurologist, so he know what he's talking about. And I totally think that is important national issue. The health of the president or aspiring should be revealed to the public. You know, there should be some kind of report on his health condition.
Doctor, I like your chin on your neck. I mean, you look very youthful. Those are the things that young people like to see.
You know, we in Hollywood are bling bling. They call bling bling.
You see, that the kind of dream president want.
I didn't want to wear tie today to go to work, so I wore bling bling.
Okay, Alex, you want to conclude?
I think the good old doc has said everything I wanted to say. Good show. We hope to be back here and continue this discussion as to what kind of leader we need. Now, what we need in Europe to transform things. But thanks.
Right. Thank you, gentlemen, and thanks for hosting and for producing and participation in the background. Participation can come up. So we want to bring this show to a conclusion. It was an excellent, splendid discussion. I think this is a discussion that we must continue for a very long period of time, because we should be discussing right now what kind of leader does Liberia need. We should be sensitizing our people. We should be enlightening them. We should be educating them. We should be informing them so that we can be able to make informed decisions when we get to the ballot box come October 10th, 2023. I have with me today Mr. Presidential Experience Alex Chuchu Jones, and I have Dr. Max O. Vagbeli. I think I got it this time.
Yes, sir.
Vagbeli. Um, Hailing from Bum County and aspiring to become president of the Republic of Liberia. And say he has been engaged with the Liberian population for a long period of time. He was even offered a position in a citizen-led government. I don't know whether he's a breakaway citizen or not, but that's a discussion for another day. So this is how let me bring this show to an end. Have a nice day. Pastor Patient, can you come on, please? That's our family. Alex, why you run away?
Hey, run away.
So, Dog, it was nice meeting you, man.
It's nice meeting you. Where is Jensen?
Jensen, but they say Jensen is at work. Pastor Patient, you are mute.
Okay.
We're still live. So right after we close, and then we can discuss a little bit before you go. So we want to say thank you to our viewers.
Please shut the TV off. So we can have private conversation.
Thank you, our host, Mr. Starling Garnett. Thank you so much. And thank you our viewers out there. We will be back here tomorrow on the roundtable with another edition on the topic. What kind of leader does Liberia need? And you can also make your contribution as the show progresses. Thank you so much and have a pleasant rest of your night.
All right.
Thank you.